Greetings, this is Kristen from Weird Reddit 111. It's always a delight to produce these videos for you. I'm genuinely thankful for the support you've shown through your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. They truly light up my day. If you're new here, consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Let's strive together to reach 1,000 subscribers. I apologize for my recent absence due to unforeseen circumstances. But I'm back with more intriguing videos for your enjoyment. Don't forget to hit that notification button. Now, let's dive into today's glitch in the Matrix story. Our tale today is from a user named Anna Headass. It's a story that might not exactly fit the mold of a typical Matrix glitch, but it's undoubtedly eerie. Here's what happened. Anna Headass's father, named Mike, had a brother, Bill. Around the time of this incident, their father had recently passed away. One day when Anna Headass was 10 years old, the home phone rang. Out of sheer laziness, she decided not to answer. Their phone was one of those models that played the caller's message out loud in real time if it went unanswered. The voice, unfamiliar to Anna Headass, said, "Hey Mike, I'm with Bill and your dad. Was wondering if you wanted to come." This message sent chills down her spine. She ran to tell her father, who listened to the message and appeared equally stunned. Despite the creepiness, he decided to call back the number, suspecting it might be some prankster who somehow knew his family details. But to their surprise, the number turned out to be invalid. So there you have it, an uncanny tale that leaves more questions than answers. Was it a prank gone too far or a genuine glitch in the Matrix? We might never know. But one thing is for sure, it's enough to give anyone the creeps. Anyone. Our next story comes from Tenemashuros, and it appears to be a case of a disappearing item. Here's what unfolded. Tenemashuros received a new bank card in the mail. The bank had transitioned to chip cards, and the new card needed validation within 90 days, or it would be automatically canceled. Living quite a distance from the bank, about a 10-kilometer round trip and without a car, Tenemashuros was procrastinating this visit. However, with the 90-day window closing and needing to make a deposit for a friend, they decided to bite the bullet and make the trip. Upon arriving at the bank, they inserted the card into the ATM, only to be told that the password was incorrect. This was impossible, as the password was their birthday, which of course they knew. Baffled but undeterred, they went inside to change the password with a bank teller. After changing the passwords, Tenemashuros left the teller, card in hand, along with their phone. They even waved at the security guard on the way out, showing their phone and the card, but as soon as they stepped outside the bank, the card vanished. Despite a thorough search of the bank and informing the staff, the card was never found. It's highly unlikely that it was stolen, as accessing the account would require not only the password, but also the social security number. So, where did the card go? How can something vanish in a split second? Another glitch in the Matrix, or just a case of extreme forgetfulness? The mystery remains unsolved. Our next tale of the unexplained comes from Reenie898, who experienced a strange time warp back in high school around 2006 or 2007. Reenie898 had a daily routine that involved a morning walk to school with a detour to Starbucks for a latte and a chat with the cute barista. This trip usually took 30-45 minutes, but one day things took a strange turn. Rini898 decided to skip the Starbucks visit one day in order to make it to a drama class meeting on time and prove to friends that she wasn't addicted to coffee. She left her house at the usual time, 7:30 a.m. But as she reached the end of her street, she blinked, and the next thing she knew, she was at school with her friends waiting for the meeting to start, coffee in hand. It was only 7:45 a.m. Confused and disoriented, Rini898 checked her phone for proof of the time. There was a text message sent to her crush at 7:30 a.m. saying, "I'm leaving, see you in a bit," along with a photo proving she was indeed leaving her house. The walk to school, even without the Starbucks detour, should have taken at least 25 to 30 minutes, but somehow Rini898 had made the journey in just 15 minutes. The mystery deepened the next day when Rini898 visited Starbucks. The barista asked where she had been the previous day, as he had made her coffee in anticipation of her arrival, but she never showed up. Despite the coffee in her hand that morning, she hadn't actually been to Starbucks. The question remains, how did she get the coffee, and how did she make the journey in such a short time? Was it a glitch in the matrix, a case of lost time, or merely an extreme case of caffeine-induced speed? The mystery remains unsolved. Our next chilling story comes from a user named Luna Chase. This tale revolves around a haunting experience that started in her childhood. At the tender age of 10, Luna Chase's grandmother told her she wanted to look good in her casket and even gave her the photo she wanted to be used at her funeral. This unsettled the young girl, especially since her grandmother was healthy and in her 70s. However, the family soon discovered that the grandmother was seriously ill with a disease that had remained hidden until then. Despite her insistence on not wanting to be hospitalized, she was taken in and sadly passed away during dialysis. 3 days later, the funeral was held at an aunt's house, a 15-minute walk from the grandmother's house. During the funeral, one of the uncles went to the grandmother's house to rest and found her slippers placed outside her room, exactly where she used to leave them. No one had been to the house since the funeral started, so who could have placed them there? After her burial, the family observed a superstition that the spirit lingers for 49 days. About a month later, Luna Chase's mother had a terrifying dream in which she was back in their old bedroom and saw her mother on the couch, crying in pain and asking for help, as if she could not leave. Luna Chase missed her grandmother deeply and wished for her to visit in her dreams despite her fear. A year later, she had a dream in which she was at school, and her grandmother visited her in her classroom. They laughed and talked, but then Luna Chase suddenly remembered her grandmother's passing. She hugged her grandmother tightly, finally getting the chance to say goodbye. When she woke up, she could still feel her grandmother's clothes on her skin. This story leaves us with a question. Was this a dream, or was it a spiritual visit from her grandmother, giving her the closure she needed? The mystery remains unsolved. Our following account is from Carmen Dalwal 17, a series of events that challenges the very fabric of reality. Carmen Dalwal 17's friend, an African-American woman, was filming a documentary for an upcoming film festival. She had been shooting in various locations, including Canada, the USA, and South Africa. She decided to add India to her list, and so Carmen Dalwal 17, his sister, and the filmmaker friend planned a trip to India. They reached on the evening of June 21st, staying overnight at a hotel in Delhi. The next day, they embarked on a 7-hour taxi ride to Carmen Dalwal 17's family home in Jagraon. As they arrived, they expected a grand welcome. After all, it had been 5 long years since their last visit. Upon entering, they were met with casual greetings as if they had been there just the day before. Their grandmother, aunts, and other family members alluded to conversations and events that supposedly happened earlier that day, a quest for an extension cord, a promise of a long catch-up session, all of which were utterly baffling to Carmen Hallwell 17. His sister and friend seemed to be a part of this alternate reality too, remembering events that he couldn't recall. According to them, they had arrived at the house the previous night, straight from the airport, bypassing the hotel entirely. But Carmen Hallwell 17 had vivid memories of their hotel stay. The long curtains, the balcony view, the hotel food, even the fuzzy slippers he contemplated stealing. This eerie discrepancy in memories left Carmen Hallwell 17 questioning reality. Was this some kind of glitch in the Matrix? A cosmic prank played by the universe? Or was it something more sinister? This unsolved mystery continues to send chills down his spine, a haunting reminder of the day his reality diverged from everyone else's. In the confusion that ensued, Carmen Hallwell 17 tried to piece together the jigsaw puzzle of his shattered reality. He spent the rest of the day in a daze, attempting to reconcile his own memories with those of his sister, friend, and family. His sister and friend were insistent. They had no recollection of the hotel stay. They remembered arriving at the house straight from the airport, engaging in conversations, and even looking for an extension cord in the city. His family, too, recalled events of the previous day that he had no memory of. They remembered the warm greetings, the laughter, and the shared meals. Carmen Hallwell 17, on the other hand, remembered the hotel room with its long curtains, the view from the balcony, and the fuzzy slippers he almost stole. Desperate to prove his sanity, he retrieved the hotel booking confirmation and receipts from his email, showing them to his sister and friend. But they dismissed it as a misunderstanding, saying they had canceled the hotel booking at the last minute. Even the taxi driver, when contacted, claimed he had picked them up from the airport, not the hotel. As the day progressed, Carmen Hallwell 17 felt increasingly isolated in his own memory. He began questioning if he had dreamt the entire hotel experience or if he was losing touch with reality. The more he tried to convince others, the more they looked at him with concern and disbelief. In the end, Carmen Hallwell 17 was left with a chilling question. What if he was the only one who remembered correctly? What if everyone else was wrong, their memories manipulated by some unseen force? Or worse, what if he was the one losing his grasp on reality? This mystery continues to haunt Carmen Hallwell 17, a chilling reminder of the day when his reality diverged from everyone else's. Our next tale of the inexplicable comes from a user named Mockery of Reason. This story revolves around a lost video game disc that made a surprising reappearance under the most mysterious circumstances. Mockery of Reason, a college student living with his parents, had a favorite Mega Man game that he played religiously. One day, the disc vanished. Despite turning his room upside down and scouring half the house, the disc was nowhere to be found. Eventually, he gave up and bought a new copy, but kept the empty case just in case. A couple of years later, due to some room shifting, Mockery of Reason's bedroom was moved to the living room and vice versa. He continued playing his new copy of the game, always with the empty case in sight. A few years later, the rooms were switched back due to his discomfort with the lack of a door and his fear of the dark. One day, while cleaning his room for the holidays with his mother and workaholic 8-year-old cousin, they decided to clean under the bed. As they lifted the board game stored under the bed to sweep and vacuum, they discovered the missing Mega Man game disc. The disc was just lying there as if it had never been missing. To confirm he hadn't misplaced the replacement disc, Macario Friesen checked the new game case, and sure enough, the disc was inside. This baffling incident left Macario Friesen and his family dumbfounded. The disc had seemingly teleported back under the bed after years of being missing. This strange occurrence, much like Carmen Talwal 17's experience, left them questioning the nature of reality and the mysteries that surround us. And just like our previous story, this one too remains an unsolved enigma. In our next tale from the realm of the unexplained, we delve into a chilling story from a user named Lala. This occurrence happened around 3 decades ago when she was preparing dinner for her family. Her phone rang and the caller was a young girl who seemed to be around 12 years old. The girl had a sweet and sincere demeanor, and she asked for Lala by her full name and then relayed a peculiar message. According to the young girl, while she was at the mall with her friends, a woman had approached her. The woman named Beth had 2 little girls with her, one with blonde hair and the other brunette. The girl had a detailed description of Beth, and she said that Beth gave her a message to relay to Lalo. The message was that Beth had almost been in an accident, but she was safe and would be home soon. Beth had instructed the girl to call Lalo and gave her Lala's phone number. What the young caller didn't know was that Lala indeed had a sister named Beth who had 2 little girls matching the description. Lalo got in touch with her sister Beth, who confirmed that they had been to the mall that day. Beth, however, had no recollection of speaking to a young girl, and she certainly hadn't given out Lala's number to anyone. Beth then revealed that while driving home in the dark and rainy weather, she lost control of her car. The car spun around and they found themselves in the wrong lane, facing oncoming traffic. A pickup truck was speeding towards them. Beth was paralyzed with fear and could not move. She braced for impact, but miraculously the truck vanished and they were unharmed. Lala then told Beth about the phone call. Beth recalled seeing a young girl at the mall who kept staring at them, but insisted they had never spoken. The mystery of how the young girl knew about Lala, Beth, the kids, the near accident, and Lala's phone number remains unsolved to this day. Lalo's story leaves us pondering the inexplicable nature of our world, much like the previous tales from Macario Friesen and Carmen Talwal 17. In the twilight of our enigmatic journey, we turn to a user named BorderJumper123, who had an unnerving encounter with what seemed like a glitch in the Matrix. A couple of years ago, BorderJumper123 and his family were returning home from a weekend trip to San Antonio. The journey was going smoothly, with the familiar landscapes passing them by until they reached a city about 30 minutes from their destination. As they were crossing a bustling intersection, BorderJumper123 noticed a sudden flash, similar to the burst of light from a professional camera. He closed his eyes momentarily, and when he opened them, they were stuck in traffic. The scene that unfolded before him was straight out of a sci-fi movie. His parents seemed frozen, like statues, their expressions locked in a state of surprise. His brother sat still, eyes wide with shock. He turned his gaze out of the window and saw that the cars around them were also frozen mid-motion, occupants stuck in their actions. Even pedestrians, a man walking his dog, a woman holding her ice cream aloft, were frozen in place. He noticed a group of hawks, suspended mid-flight, as if the very air they soared in had turned solid. Border Jumper 123 recounts that he wanted to step out of the car, but the strange sight gave him goosebumps, so he simply leaned out of the window, taking in the bizarre spectacle. For 12 long seconds, everything remained frozen, as if time itself had paused. His family experienced the same eerie phenomenon, although they couldn't recall the moments when they were frozen. After those 12 surreal seconds, everything snapped back to normal. The wind blew, cars started moving, people continued their walks, and the hawks resumed their flight. The family was left shaken, joking about being flashed by the men in black. The rest of their journey home was marked by an unusually low volume of traffic and an eerie parade of black polarized cars. Border Jumper 23's account leaves us questioning the nature of reality and the mystery of time. Could this be a glitch in the Matrix, a cerebral anomaly, or a glimpse into an alternate dimension? As we delve deeper into these mysteries, we are left with more questions than answers, a testament to the inexplicable nature of our existence. As we close this chapter of our exploration into the glitches of our matrix, we invite you to take a moment and reflect. These stories, shared by ordinary people like you and me, challenge our perception of reality and the world we inhabit. They remind us of the mysteries that lie beyond our understanding, the anomalies that defy explanation, and the potential for the extraordinary in the mundane. As we navigate through our daily lives, we may be oblivious to these glitches, these subtle shifts in the fabric of our existence. But every so often, we are jolted out of our comfort zones by experiences that defy logic and reason. These moments, these glitches, hold a mirror to the complexity and enigma of our existence. They urge us to question, to explore, and to seek the truth, however elusive it may be. The world around us is a complex web of intricacies and anomalies, a matrix that continues to baffle and intrigue us. As we bid you goodbye, we leave you with a thought. Perhaps the glitches we encounter are not errors or malfunctions, but glimpses into the infinite possibilities of our universe. So keep your eyes open, your senses alert, and your curiosity alive. Who knows, you might just stumble upon your own glitch in the matrix, and when you do, remember to share it with us. Until then, stay curious, stay vigilant, and keep questioning the reality around you.